One of my subscribers reached out to me that his channel was banned for doing one of these things, which most of us actually do here on YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us 6 things that most small creators do that can get their channel totally banned on YouTube. And the 5th thing is what 90% of creators do, especially the new ones, and I'm actually guilty of that because I was actually doing that before. And making this mistake can make all your hard work and progress gone in a second. So if you're serious about growing on YouTube in 2026 and you intend monetizing your channel, getting brand deals, long-term success on your channel, you need to avoid these 6 things starting from today. With that much being said, let's head straight into the main point. Now, the first thing which most of us are doing is subscribing to people's channel in the comment section the wrong way. Now, if you go to most creators' videos, especially those that are actually getting engagement, you're going to see something like "sub for me, let's support each other," this kind of comment. Now, it is not wrong, and I'm not saying it is bad. Most of us are actually guilty of this. I've actually done it before, so I am also guilty of this. But here is the truth: this is against YouTube's spam and fake engagement policy. When you subscribe to people randomly just to get subscription back, YouTube sees it as artificial growth, engagement manipulation, and then spam behavior. And YouTube's system is very, very smart in 2026. So they track where the subscription is actually coming from, how long those subscribers watch on your channel, and whether they actually engage naturally or not. So if people actually subscribe and never watch any of your videos, YouTube flags your channel as a low quality or a suspicious channel. Best scenario, your videos will stop getting recommendation, and the worst case is that YouTube is going to limit your channel reach or take action for spam behavior. And when YouTube actually limits your channel reach, that means your views will be limited. You're not going to get much views on your channel. So I'm not saying sub for sub is actually bad. It is not bad, but doing it the right way is what most of us don't do. That is why you see that if you do sub for sub and you get some amount of subscribers, when you wake up the next morning or the following day, you're going to see that the subscribers count is back to the level it was before. That means YouTube is actually going to remove all those subscribers, and you do not want that. So what you need to do is, whenever you want to support yourself in the comment section, make sure that you go to those people's channel, watch at least 3 to 5 minutes videos on their channel before hitting the subscribe button, and also like their videos. Don't just go to people's channel and hit the subscribe button then you leave. That is what YouTube does not want, because if you're doing that, you're going to keep having issues. YouTube is going to keep removing those subscribers, and your channel reach may get limited. You may just wake up one day and see that in fact you don't even get views at all. So you want to stop that now and start doing it the right way. Now, the second thing you need to stop doing on YouTube, especially as a small creator, is replicating viral videos or using unauthorized images. Now, this one thing has actually destroyed thousands of channels. You see channels getting deleted, getting banned, getting shadow banned. Now, let me make us understand this thing. There is a difference between inspired content and reused or stolen content. Now, most small creators see viral video and think, oh, let me just leverage on this, let me just download it, edit it a bit, add a little bit of text, and then do small voiceover. Now, in 2026, this is extremely risky. If you use other people's channel without their permission, or you re-upload a clip without proper transformation, or you use copyrighted image or screenshots, YouTube can actually classify your channel as reused content. And reused content channels often struggle to get monetized. They get copyright strikes and can get permanently removed. Now, you do not want that for your channel. Or let's even talk about thumbnails. Many creators still go to Google Image, download random pictures, and then use them directly for their thumbnail. That is very, very dangerous. Some of these images are actually copyrighted, watermarked, or tracked by the owner of the images. So if the owner files a complaint against you, YouTube can actually remove that video of yours and strike your channel, or even terminate it after multiple violations. So you should stop doing that. What you should do instead is make sure that you use royalty-free images like Canva, Pixels, Unsplash, and you can also create your own screenshots or design your own original thumbnail, which is the best. So original content is actually non-negotiable in 2026. Make sure that your thumbnail, your videos are original. Now, the third mistake you should never ever make on YouTube as a small YouTuber or as a small creator is using the same email for your channel and public contact. Now this mistake is so common, especially for the new ones that don't know how YouTube works, and it is so dangerous because many creators put the same email that is linked to their YouTube channel inside their description box. One thing with YouTube is that once your channel starts growing, you start getting brand deals, collaboration, business inquiries, and the likes. So most of us make this mistake, and you put the email that you used to, start up your YouTube channel that is actually linked to your channel to your description. This is not good, because if that email gets hacked or it gets pitched or exposed, your entire channel is at risk. So scammers do not even really need your password. You get, sometimes what they just need is access to your email. So once you give them that access by putting your main email on your description box, once they get access to that, they can actually reset your YouTube logins, they can change recovery options and lock you out permanently. Trust me, YouTube recovery is not really guaranteed. That means you're going to lose your channel and everything you have worked for. So what you need to do instead is have one private email that is linked to your YouTube account, and also have a separate business email for brand deals and collaboration and the likes. So you should never expose your email that actually controls your main channel. And the fourth thing you should never do on YouTube is connecting your channel to too many third-party apps. Yeah, I know a lot of us really want to grow on YouTube, and there are so many AI tools everywhere in 2026. We have analytics tools, we have editing tools, automation tools, growth dashboard, and a lot of them like that. Some of them are very, very helpful, but too many connections to your channel are risky, because every time you connect an app to your YouTube channel, you are also granting them permission, you are opening access doors, and you are also trusting their securities. So some of these tools actually sells data, they get hacked or quietly misuse the access we should give to them. So if one of these tools actually gets compromised along the way, your channel can also be compromised because they have access to your channel. So it's like leaving a multiple door unlocked to your house, and definitely someone is going to sneak in. So what you need to do instead is make sure that you only connect your channel to trusted tools. Make sure to remove tools that you no longer use. Probably you've used a particular tool and you no longer use it. Remove the access to your channel and regularly review permission in your YouTube studio. So less access is equals to more security. The more you secure your channel, the better for you. The fifth thing you should never ever do on YouTube, which 90% of creators here are actually guilty of, including me, because when I started my YouTube channel, I was doing this particular thing and it is not good. Now this is actually using too many hashtags on your videos. Now this one thing is actually very, very dangerous. Many people actually think the more hashtags you put on your videos, the more reach you're going to get. This is extremely wrong, because YouTube clearly states it on their website
that over tagging, don't add too many tags to a single video or playlist, and if a video or playlist has more than 60 hashtags, we will ignore each hashtags on that content, and over tagging may result in the removal of your video from uploads or search.
Videos may stop ranking, and then the algorithm may treat your channel like a bot or a spam account. Now, in extreme cases, your videos can get removed from the search results, which is also known as shadow banning. That means if someone search for your videos or your channel, they are not going to see it. Now, there's a difference between hashtags and tags. Hashtags are the ones you're going to put in your description box that has the Naira sign, that has the hash sign, while the tags are the ones you're going to put in the tag section, because YouTube actually made a space for your tags. So there's a difference between the two. So using excessive or too much hashtags is what YouTube is actually saying. If you use them too much, they are going to remove it or ignore that particular video. And once YouTube actually does that, that video is likely to die. So what you need to do from now on, the best approach for 2036 is to use 3 to 6 relevant hashtags for your videos. Only use hashtags that are directly related to your niche, and avoid generic or trending spam hashtags. Now let's assume you're into the YouTube growth niche. Your hashtag should be related to YouTube growth, which is hashtag YouTube monetization, hashtag YouTube tips, hashtag get more views, and the likes. If you're into cooking, your hashtag should be what you're doing. Don't use another hashtag in another niche, because that niche is actually trending. Let's assume that you're into football niche, then because YouTube growth niche is actually trending, then you go and pick the hashtag of the YouTube growth niche and put under football. That is what YouTube is actually against. So don't do that, and don't spam too much hashtags on your description. Use 3 to 6 relevant hashtags related to your niche. In fact, I'm actually guilty of this because I used to do that before, because I actually want my videos to get more reach and more views, but it is actually bad. It is not good. So 3 to 6 is the best which you can use for your description. Now, this is the 6th thing you should never do on YouTube: clicking on fake collaboration link. As your YouTube channel starts growing, something interesting will start happening. Like I said initially, you will begin to receive emails from brands or people saying, "We love your content, we love what you do, and we would love to collaborate with you." And they may say, "We would like you to review our products." Now, don't get me wrong, brand partnership are one of the best way for creators to earn income on YouTube, and working with the right brands can really elevate your channel. Then you should make sure that you avoid downloading or no file, because scammers can actually send you a link to your email for you to click, and out of excitement you may click and you're going to lose your account. They are going to hijack that account which you've worked for. But here is something every creator needs to understand: not every collaboration offer is the right fit, and not every email represents a verified brand. Some messages may look professional but are actually unverified collaboration requests, impersonation email, or unautomated outreach that isn't properly vetted. So this doesn't mean that brand deals are bad. It simply means that creators need to be very careful and professional about how they evaluate opportunities, because a common mistake is rushing into a deal because it feels exciting or urgent. So if an offer pressures you to act fast, or uses unofficial email domains, or sends you a file or link without proper context, or probably they lack clear company information, that's a sign that you should pause and verify. Do not panic or reject all brand deals. What you should do as a professional creator is that you should research more on that brand. Check the brand's official website. Then you need to confirm their social media presence, their past partnership, and also communicate clearly and ask questions. Taking these steps doesn't scare brands away. It actually attracts a better one. If you're actually guilty of any of these things, try to work them out on your channel. I'm actually guilty of number 5. Let me know what you're guilty of in the comment section. And if you find this video very helpful, do well to like this video. If you want to join our community, do well to also subscribe to this channel. And lastly, don't forget to comment. Like I said, let me know what you're guilty of all the points I have mentioned. And if you've not done any of it, please try to work on it like I said. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.